Welcome back to the DNA Pest Control Podcast. This is Daniel speaking.
And this is Aaron speaking.
Okay, perfect.
We're back.
We're going to try something new. we gotta keep switching it up. Today is actually following along the lines of January still.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tie it back in. I'm going to keep trying to connect these somehow. We'll have like themes for every month. Today is going to be tech versus office.
Tech versus office.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Have you ever heard of that?
I haven't.
Before here, did you ever even know that existed?
Not tech versus office, no.
Okay.
But it stuck out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what is it?
I mean, it's exactly what it sounds like. From the office side.
Yeah.
I'm scheduling, I'm routing, I'm talking directly with these customers. I get calls from some technicians about resistance on not being able to hit time frames, or that I didn't route his day correctly, or a lot of things that they're not seeing from my side that I'm getting frustrated about.
Yeah.
Now, from your side as a technician, why would you be upset at the office?
Well, it's a lot harder for me because I'm usually the go with the flow kind of guy. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, all right, you added one to my day, whatever.
But if you weren't.
But if I wasn't, you're right. So if I wasn't, a big thing that gets under a lot of technicians' skin is you throw an extra appointment on me, which actually there is no ground to stand on of being mad at that because you're supposed to be here for so many hours anyway, right?
True.
But the reason they get mad is they have plans. And so when there's variables in a day, that really ruins with people. I mean, that ruins people's days, their mind, everything. Yeah. So when they think, hey, I'm getting off at 1 o'clock, and then you added 2, and now it's 2, it like mentally destroys them.
Yeah, how dare you?
Yeah, even though it doesn't affect them, but it does, mentally. So that's one thing. The other thing is what happens is the office will route a day and it's incorrect, or I could do it better. Mm-hmm. Or I was just in this neighborhood yesterday and now I'm back in that neighborhood today.
Okay.
Why wasn't that all in the same day?
Yeah.
Those are a few. Another one is sending me back out to a home, even though I already did the job. Mm-hmm. And I got to redo the backyard, even though I did the backyard, but the customer said I didn't do the backyard.
Yeah.
That comes back onto the office for whatever reason.
Yeah. Again, these are just examples. Like if you weren't, it's not like you're actually upset about this.
No. But I think this is going to go along the lines with everybody, because I think every technician has this stuff come up and it pops up on a frequent basis, notes being out of appointments. So I go to a home and I have no idea what's going on.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. So now I'm like, well, what am I doing here? Is it a regular service? Is it not? Is it a callback? If it is a callback, why aren't there notes on what I'm doing for the callback? I'm just supposed to magically know.
Yeah.
So I think those are things that also frustrate technicians with the office.
Sure.
And a big one is tech versus office. And what we want to talk about, and really, I guess the core of it is the office looks at the techs as, you guys just need to go get the jobs done, stop complaining, stop whining, just go. And the techs look at it as, I can do your job better.
Right.
So you get the technicians looking at the office as, you know what, if I was in the office, I could do this 1,000 times better than you guys. You guys suck.
Sure.
And then the office looks at it like, guys, shut up, stop whining. I'm listening to all these complaints. Just go get the job done.
Yeah.
So you start to create these two groups that are against each other, and they start to hate each other. And it really creates a big problem. And I think a lot of companies have the issue. They just don't know it.
Yeah, it's probably happening right in front of their face.
They just think, oh, well, there's just a tech that complains a lot.
Yeah.
Or there's an office person who's just careless and doesn't care and just throws appointments on whoever, whenever.
Yeah, they're always in a bad mood, or they don't care about what I have going on, or.
Yeah, I think we make up excuses and we look past the real problem of, we are starting to create separation between the company where it actually works so much better if it was together.
Exactly.
And going off of some of those experiences, that's actually a main reason why I brought you on originally.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that was a big complaint of mine, was we have a girl in the office. She's not doing her job. She's doing her job. She's just not executing at it on a high enough level.
Right.
She's just doing the bare minimum, the basic, the easiest stuff that she can do. She shies away from the hard. And that was just the issue.
Yeah.
And then you have all this stuff building up. But going off of past experiences, so where this actually came from, tech versus office, was way back when I originally took over the company. And it was me, another technician, and an office girl.
That's it.
That was it. So it was 3 of us, which is like, people are probably like, how did you have tech versus office in this situation? Well, the office person at the time thought that she was like, she owned everything.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, so she got to the point where not only did she think she owned everything, I couldn't touch anything in the system. That's what it came down to. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was bad. And it was so bad because this is another thing that popped up. And I eventually started getting very short with her because I would put out a bait in a bait station, and she would instantly message me. So this is another reason why you start to get tech versus office. She would instantly message me saying, did I charge them for the bait station? Did I do this? Did I do that? Blah, blah, blah. And I said, no, I just refilled a bait station.
Yeah.
That's it. Why are you looking into this? I didn't say add this. I didn't say, like, I just refilled the bait station for him. That was it.
Yeah.
So she was literally looking at every completed job, what chemicals were being used. We're talking micromanaging to the max.
Oh, yeah. And I'm sure even without me being here, I can tell that she probably put up a defense mechanism of like, hey, I just want to make sure things are running smoothly. Right? I want to make sure things are correct. I want to make sure you guys aren't making mistakes. So that's why I'm breathing down your neck like this.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that really starts to hurt everything is we would go in, so a mistake would get made, and instead of saying, hey, that was my bad, right? Yeah, that's all you have to say. Hey, I did it. You're right.
The ownership.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's your fault. Or it's his fault. I did it correct. He did it wrong.
Where can I point the finger?
And it was always blaming somebody else. She wanted to be over everything, but she didn't want to take the blame of anything.
Ooh, that's nice.
So then you started getting that as well. Or the tech would go out and do something, which would then affect the office, and then the office was mad at the tech. And so we had this full circle, and so we started seeing this massive separation where the tech didn't want to communicate with the office, and the office stopped communicating with the tech, or they went too extreme on the communication, and it started destroying, that relationship to where they did not want to communicate. They did not want to do what the other one was saying.
The slippery slope.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. It was really bad for us. And it was only 3 of us.
Yeah.
But I did have 2 older people. They were very stuck in their ways. They both thought they were correct and everyone else was wrong.
Right.
So that really destroyed it as well. But when you got in here, what did you see?
Communication was the biggest thing. I mean, there were things I was noticing on my first week where I'm like, we're hanging ourselves up way too much, shooting ourselves in the foot way too often. There's things that are being messaged that don't need to be messaged about. It was just a lot of going in circles. And I'm like, there is no clear direction, or at least what I saw was like, everybody had a very different goal in mind for where we were headed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there was no look to resolve the situation. It was just to find out where the issue was caused and who to point the finger at. Like you said, and it was very inefficient, and it was very clear why it was so hard to expand quickly with the dynamic and the foundation that was there.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is people want to be the star in the moment. That was my idea.
Yeah.
That was my idea. It's like, who cares who came up with the idea?
Yeah.
who cares where the credit lies, right? At the end of the day, we all succeed, so who cares who came up with it?
Right.
Exactly. It's not, you didn't invent something, new. You didn't patent it. It was just an idea. We all put our work in and we completed it.
Sure.
So who cares who came up with it? Let's just get it done.
Yeah. And I think people associate these kind of stresses as a negative. Like when we joke around, it's like, my position as a sales manager, I want to create so many new accounts that it's going to stress you out to have to find more techs to route and be able to squeeze all these appointments in. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like people will assume it's like, it's like I have to hire more techs. I have to do this. What about the trucks and the vehicles? And it's like, that's a great problem to have.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you and I are on the same page. We have the same vision for where this company is going.
Yeah. And it's really staying in your lane. And that's another one is, so if you are in an office and you're sitting there and you're not sure what's going on, this is some of the things, this is from our past experiences that you need to pay attention to is where's that job slip happening? Mm-hmm. Is the office trying to become a tech? Is the tech trying to become the office?
Always.
And so that is the huge issue, because now if I'm focusing, we talked about this, if I'm the tech and I'm focusing on the office, I'm not doing my job well.
Exactly, and vice versa.
Yeah, well, and the office isn't doing any better because I'm not in the office. So I'm in a vehicle doing a really crappy job, but I'm thinking about the office and how they can do better and how I could do better than them. So now you're really hurting yourself on both ends.
Oh, yeah.
You're not doing your job well, and you're not helping the office any. So that's another thing that you have to look out for, because that's going to stunt the growth.
Yeah.
We talked about that. It's going to really hinder where we're going. We saw that when you first came in. Mm-hmm. She was attacking everybody. It didn't matter who you were. She hated everybody.
Yeah.
Even the customers.
Yeah.
Like it
nobody
really
was
did.
safe.
No, nobody was. I mean, it didn't matter. It did not matter who was there. If you were a human being, you were hated, and attacked. And that's the thing is, you have to keep that in mind when you start to see this creation. If you're a manager, you need to step in over the technicians. You need to step in and start putting your technicians in check and helping focus on your job, focus on the tech work, and put in notes and things like that to help the office.
Just to eliminate that job slip.
Because the thing is the process to get from tech versus office to a cohesive group.
Sure.
Is time, and it's consistency.
Yeah.
And so when people don't do that, they don't just put their head down and say, okay, I'm just going to do the best I can do as a tech, the office doesn't get any better, because it's still that push and pull. I'm still attacking the office, so the office is going to attack me.
Right.
But now if I stop attacking the office can keep attacking me. That's okay, because eventually they're going to realize I'm probably being a little too hard on this guy.
Right.
I'm getting nothing back. It's me just punching, and I'm not getting anything back. I'm going to calm down. And it starts to work itself out.
Yeah, you start creating that, or you start like facilitating just like that culture by itself naturally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, it's a huge thing, but that really, going into it, it's really putting the right people in the right place.
And that's what I was going to ask. It's like, what do you think was the best thing that we did to eliminate that? And you're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I say it from the beginning to now, and it happened even when it was through sales, when I was over in the sales and everything, because we had office versus sales too. Yeah. So even if you're thinking, hey, it's just office versus tech, that's not true.
It's across the board.
It's across the board. And so once you start seeing that, because with me and sales we would put in the system, we would get everything set up, and then the office would drop the ball on setting the appointment or following up with the customer. Or in the weird case that they had to collect the payment because the customer didn't want to give it to us, they wouldn't collect. Well, then I didn't get paid. So now I'm pissed off at the office, right? And so then it's just a slippery slope there as well.
Goes round and round.
Because then they stop helping you.
Yeah.
So now you got to make sure you do everything correct.
Yeah.
Because they're looking to attack you. But it was putting those people, but I saw it, and it's always been a pattern. And I always tell everybody this is, it doesn't matter who has left. We've always gotten better. Once someone leaves, we grow. Another person leaves, we grow. And it really shows that the direction of the company, those people in those places, they can't handle the growth. They can't handle what's happening there. And I think that corrects really the tech versus office or sales versus office,
Sure.
or whatever that is. Because you eliminate that bad apple naturally.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because, if everyone's pushing, or the majority of people are pushing that direction, there is going to be that person that can't handle that, and they naturally will fall off.
Yeah.
And we've seen it. We've seen it over and over and over and over. And I've seen it more.
Mm-hmm.
But every time someone leaves, it's like you eliminate tech versus office situation.
Sure.
You start to get a better and more cohesive group because you bring on new people who are willing to grow at that stage.
Yeah, and who have the same goal in mind.
And that may not last forever.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
And that's okay, right? You may grow up to another point, and then those people may leave. They may have to go.
Right.
You can't decide that. That it's really on them because they can only hit their ceiling, and they decide what that is.
Right.
But that almost eliminates it, and that's what it is putting the people in the right places. Mm-hmm. But that's what I saw really started correcting a lot of those things.
I agree. And you probably remember as these people were transitioning out and leaving, and the weeks leading up to them leaving, it's easy to feel that stress and pressure. It's like, what are we going to do without this person in this area? Or what are we going to do without one less technician? And people will step up and surprise you. Like you said, when that bad apple is gone, you don't realize the level of stress and the amount of workload that, them spinning their wheels is creating on everybody else. Mm-hmm. And you get these people who are stepping up that you wouldn't expect to one day be in a management position. It's like, hey, this guy's actually doing really good, and he's going to start training people. He's going to start, taking over that territory. Mm-hmm. Real good things are happening.
Oh yeah. We saw that. You get rid of key people that we thought were there, and then other people below start to step up in those positions.
Yeah.
You start to create natural leaders. Leaders will come out of the woodworks once you eliminate that pillar, that wall, whatever it is, right? And it is amazing because we did see that. And now we know, okay, guess what? Moving forward, we start to hit that wall again. There's that person, whoever it may be, in management, whatever. Mm-hmm. If you start having that, you have to get rid of them as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because could you imagine 2 years ago if those people were gone? Mm-hmm. We could be triple the size that we are now.
Exactly. And the idea is growth, right? We keep going back and tying it into the first couple episodes of this year. And it's like, we're here to grow. Like, I don't want to just get by. You talk to some of those people, it's like, hey, how was your year? You haven't seen them in a while. They were like, it was okay. I just kind of got by. It's like, that sucks,
How? How are you okay?
I don't want to just get by. It's like, I want to grow. You know what I mean? And that's why this is so important, the squash, when you see it, because it really inhibits the growth.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's huge, is when you start getting like-minded people together, you start building a true team.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And doing an NFL reference, because we're getting close to the Super Bowl, but you can really see a cohesive team, that's working together, other than teams that are not. And I'm going to throw my boy under the bus because they suck.
That was a rough game.
But if you watched it, even the commentary, the commentary on everything, it was Tom Brady, the Bucks, and Evans were never on point. Mm-hmm. All season. Something happened between those guys.
Yeah.
Something happened and they were off. He stopped throwing him the ball. Something was going on. And it's weird because I don't think we'll ever know what really happened.
Sure.
But, dude, these guys were off the entire game.
Yeah.
Evans is going right. Brady's throwing left. It's like, what is this? What's going on?
Yeah.
So, but that comes back into the team.
Yeah.
The office, the techs, who's running right and throwing left?
Mm-hmm.
And whoever's doing that, where is that problem? Can it get fixed? And can it get fixed now? Or do you have to eliminate? And people think, well, tech versus office, whatever, may not exist. It's not happening to me. We're perfect. Go back and take inventory.
Yeah.
Sit down with everybody. Do a quick interview. See how everybody feels about everybody else. And I
Sure.
bet a lot of these things will start coming to light,
Mm-hmm.
On really what needs to happen and where it needs to happen. Even somebody who may not be creating problems, but is not being involved with the company at a small stage affects everything.
Yeah, a lot more than you would think too.
Oh, it's huge because now we have, participation from literally everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody's involved. Everybody's talking. Everybody's having a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go back a couple months, not even far back.
Yeah.
It was not that way.
Not even.
Not even close. I mean, it was literally standoffish, just everybody hating each other. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was uncomfortable on Fridays. Now it's enjoyable.
No, it is. It's so true. And it's true how much or how quickly it can change. We always talk about me coming back. Like when I first got here, one of the things that really upset me is, a customer would call in and they would say, hey, I still haven't seen the technician. Somebody told me they were going to be here from 10 to 12 today. Okay. And whoever answered the phone, just won't say the names, they hung up. And the only focus was who scheduled it this way? Why wasn't the technician there? What's going on?
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there like, or we can, just solve the problem and have somebody go out there and route it, send a technician out, message them saying, hey, like we forgot to hit this customer. Can you go out there right now?
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, honestly. I mean, it really is that way, though. It really goes back down to who's doing what, when they're doing it, but looking past that and saying, okay, what's the real issue here? Can I just fix this problem real quick and get over it? Because that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when that stuff did happen.
Yeah.
It was, I don't care.
Who cares?
I don't care what they said. I don't really care about the problem. Let's just fix it. What do they need? How do we help them?
And move on.
Yeah. Okay, maybe I was in the wrong. Okay, that's a time that, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
But right now, the customer, let's resolve it, and then let's go back to it. Was it reoccurring? Is it a reoccurring issue? No. Okay, who cares? Let it go. But that comes back down to having the right people in the right place.
Exactly.
So managers, owners, whatever you are, really look at those people and say, are they in the right place? You're a technician, you're riding in your truck right now, you're listening in. Are you doing the right thing at the right time, right now? Is that a yes or no? Take inventory on yourself. Because as much as we want to be like, we're driving in the truck right now, you're a tech, you're listening, you're like, yeah, Sandy sucks. She shouldn't even be in the office.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you're the problem. And that's going to piss off a lot of people, but maybe you're the issue.
Yeah.
What are you doing to fix you and then fix somebody else?
That's a tough pill to swallow, but man, it will change a lot of things for you.
Yeah. Are you the person sitting in the back of the room not talking to anybody because you hate everybody and everybody else is weird and they suck? Well, maybe you are weird and you suck.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it is take that, see what's going on, and really correct that for yourself. And then you can start helping other people. And they may even come to you and ask for your input. Hey, what do you really think about Sandy?
Yeah.
How do you think she's doing? And you may say, well, you know what? She's doing this, 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 and this. And they're going to take your word over it. But it is putting the people in the right places and being the right person in the right place.
Huge.
So moving on from that really does help. So once we do that, once you do correct those issues, you're going to see or really eliminate some people if you have to, or move them into a different position, because that could help resolve an issue too.
Yeah.
You may not have to just cut completely, but it could, you just work in that direction of where do we put them. But that's really going to start helping with your vision, your goals, the direction of the company, right? Like what you were saying, we're going in so many different directions and everybody had a different idea. I mean, the end goal was actually the same, but everyone had the different path to take to get there.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing is at the end of the day, we all want to succeed. We all want to win. We all want to grow, right? But that wasn't like clearly stated. And that wasn't like really drawn out to where everybody can see and everybody's held accountable. And I think once, we keep saying it like a record on repeat, once those people are in the right places, the accountability skyrockets, the quality of service skyrockets, customer service gets better because we're all pushing for the same thing.
Yeah. And what you're going to start seeing is if you are running into this issue and you start resolving a lot of these problems, you see the office starting to make calls to the technicians and asking questions.
Yeah.
They start wanting to learn, and vice versa. The techs start to call the office or message the office and say, hey, who's this person? What do I need to do? How can I help them? Yeah. Instead of attacking the office, it's, I'm just looking for a solution here.
Exactly.
And now you start to see the teamwork, and they're working together to resolve the issue instead of create a problem between them. Everybody
wins.
So now, kind of coming up to the close, I know this was kind of a quicker episode on text versus office, and it really, remember, this could be office versus office. This could be sales versus office. It's not just tech versus office. But look for the early signs. And what could those early signs be? What do you think?
The ones that I saw, it's a very clear divide on communication and the level of communication and who communicates to who reports to who. When the structure is lacking there, it's very easy to slip and fall into that divide.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see the communication side. That is crucial. So if you're seeing somebody who's not communicating on that same level, you probably need to either sit down, talk, find a resolve, something there, right?
Or even lack of communication. You know, you have a guy where you think he's doing great, and for the past 3 months, each homeowner he talks to, he's like, yeah, I don't know what the office is doing. I don't know why I'm out here again. You know what I mean? It could be fixed by a simple conversation or like a regular sit down about, you see a slip in performance. What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do agree with that. I can see that. And now, that nailed it right on the head, is that communication and seeing or hearing and listening. Also, you need to make sure that your key players are standing up when that stuff does happen.
Good point.
Right? So we hear it with, we have it where a guy starts to complain about a day or, I want to get off early this day, whatever it is. And it's, are we really taking into account what they're saying and why they're saying it? The other big thing that you don't want to actually do is when you are looking for some of these early signs is you may hear something and you may take it to the next level. You may take it to the extreme. And in reality, it doesn't mean much. They could just be complaining to complain for the moment, and then they're done. So be aware of that. So even if they are bringing up some concerns, really take note as why were they doing that? Is this going to be a reoccurring issue? Is this a red flag? Are these signs that I need to be looking out for? Because that could end up becoming a big issue later on.
Can't sweep it under the rug.
No. Because I did that. I did that for years. Is you listen to some of these complaints and you just kind of like, whatever, and you kind of resolve that quick issue. But what happens is it turns into a massive problem later on.
Huge.
And it starts to create really bad habits with people. And so now they think they can always come to you, they can always complain, they can always do this, they can always do that. And it starts to compound these massive issues, and you start creating that separation. So be aware of those things.
Yeah.
If you don't agree with something, nip it in the butt as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Or it will compound and get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Exactly.
So look out for the early signs.
Yep.
Really take inventory on if this is going on in your office and how you can resolve those issues.
Exactly.
And do not say it's not happening. Really look. Don't create something, but really look into it.
Yeah, on some level it is happening. And like you said, just listen. It's there if you actually listen to what's going on.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And real quick, even for the early signs, I do want to say one last thing on that is sometimes somebody who is on the other side, who is a technician, who was a technician, can really help out the office, and vice versa. Whoever
True.
was in the office or is in the office can really help out the technicians with explanations, and just simple stuff. And it's just understanding what's going on. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I bring that up is it just happened yesterday in the office. She was complaining, not complaining, she was bringing up, one of the guys and what he was doing. And I threw out some reasoning. Mm-hmm. Is you got to realize he's probably working fast. Mm-hmm. He's got a lot of drive time. He's got that. So the explanation started making sense.
Yeah.
And she came back, oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Exactly.
I didn't think about that. Mm-hmm. And so the office doesn't always see the tech and the tech doesn't always see the office side. Right. So when you're in an area twice, back-to-back days, guess what? That was probably the customer, not the office.
Exactly. Good point.
So the technicians out there listening, but ask for that input, ask for their side, try to prevent those early signs, try to see what's happening on the other side. I'm sure that whoever's in the office would love to explain to the tech what's going on, and whoever's a tech would love to explain to the office what's going on.
Makes everybody's lives easier.
In a calm setting, yeah. Mm-hmm. So just keep an eye out for it. But thanks again for listening to the DNA Pest Control Podcast. Have a great day.